Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are diving into a skill that can literally make or break your career: how to plan a presentation that actually works. We're going to get right into the playbook for connecting with your audience and, most importantly, getting real results.
You know that feeling, right? That pit in your stomach, your heart starts racing. You're wondering, is anyone even going to listen, or am I about to bore this entire room to tears? It is such a common fear, and honestly, for good reason. The stakes are always incredibly high.
And really, that's the bottom line. Every single time you get up to speak, you are putting your professional credibility on the line. A fantastic presentation can mark you as a leader, as an expert. But a bad one? Whoa, it can undo months of great work in just a few minutes. So here is our promise to you. In the next few minutes, we're going to give you the complete playbook for planning presentations that build that credibility and get results. Now, here's the cool part. What we just did, that hook, stating the stakes and making this promise, that is a perfect preview. It's the first 10 to 15% of any great presentation, and you just saw it happen in real time. So, where does a killer presentation actually begin? Hint, it's not with your slides. It's not even with your main message. It starts with your audience. Understanding who you are talking to is the absolute foundation for everything else you're going to do. So before you write a single word, you've got to do a little detective work on your audience. Ask yourself, what's in it for them? What do they already know so you're not boring them? What are they worried about? And who are the real decision makers in the room? Knowing this stuff helps you tailor your message so it actually gets heard, not just spoken. Okay, so once you know your audience inside and out, then you can start building the structure for your message. The best presentations you'll find follow a really simple, timeless, and super effective narrative arc. And it's as simple as this: preview, view, and review. You start by telling them what you're going to tell them. Then in the view, you tell them. That's the main body. And you finish with a quick review, telling them what you just told them. It might sound basic, but this structure is the powerful, memorable backbone of basically any effective presentation ever. Now, for that main event, the view, you need a tool to make sure each of your key points lands with a punch. And that's where the prep method comes in. Think of it as your secret weapon for being crystal clear and persuasive. The prep method is just beautiful in its simplicity. You state your position, you give the reasons for it, you provide a concrete example, and this is key, and then you restate your position to really lock it in their minds. Let's see just how powerful that example part can be. This is the power of a single, compelling data point. Imagine you're arguing that continuous reviews are better than annual ones. You could drop this number. 92% of employees felt their performance improved with continuous reviews. A stat like that doesn't just support your point, it makes it unforgettable. It's a mic drop moment. Okay, so we've planned for our audience, we've built our structure. Now it's time for the fun part, the visuals. Look, good slides are critical. They can boost how persuasive you are by almost 50%. But there's a huge catch. And here it is, the #1 rule of slide design. Your slides are there to support you. You are the main event, not your PowerPoint. They need to be simple, clear, and something people can understand in like 3 seconds. That way, their attention stays exactly where it belongs, on you. I mean, just look at the difference here. On the left, we've got the classic death by spreadsheet. It's a wall of numbers that makes the audience work way too hard, and they'll just tune you out. On the right, a clean, simple bar chart. Boom. The takeaway is instant, they get it, and their focus snaps right back to you. Oh, and here's another classic mistake: writing whole sentences on your slides. Never ever make your audience read while you're talking. The slide on the left is basically a script, but the one on the right, it uses a few bold keywords and a simple image. It cues the audience, backs up your point, and keeps them listening to you. And finally, always remember to show. Don't just tell. A wall of text describing some new software? Total snooze fest. But an effective slide, like the one on the right, shows a mock-up of the actual interface. It's immediately understandable, way more engaging, and it lets you be the expert who walks them through it. All right, we've covered the audience, the structure, and the visuals. We are now officially entering the final and most critical phase of our own presentation model, the review. This is where we bring it all home and make sure the key messages really stick. So just like we've been saying, let's do a quick review. First, the absolute foundation of any great presentation is starting with your audience.
Second, build your story using that simple preview, view, review structure. Third, design clean slides that are your sidekick, not the main character. And finally, before you ever step on that stage, you run one last vital check.
This last step is all about integrity. The FAIR test is a really simple framework to make sure your presentation is ethical, transparent, and respectful, because that ultimately is the true foundation of your credibility. Think of it as a quick but crucial checklist. Are my facts correct and not twisted in any way? Is my reasoning accessible and my motives transparent? Have I really considered the impacts this will have on everyone involved? And finally, is my communication respectful to my audience? It's a simple gut check that protects your most valuable professional asset, your credibility. So the next time you have to give a presentation, don't look at it as a chore or something to be afraid of. See it for what it is, an opportunity. With this playbook, you've got the tools to not just deliver information, but to build trust, drive real action, and solidify your credibility. The only question left is, how are you going to use it?